Good dog, this steak is not for you. This steak is for you, because you're gonna learn how to cook the best steak in the entire world and learn whether you want a Traeger or a Big Green Egg. So the first step to cooking the best steak in the world is seasoning. And obviously the most important season is kosher salt. Apply this liberally. Make the steak white with salt. Just cover it. Don't worry about using too much. Just rub it in there. Same on the other side. We're also gonna throw on a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. Lowry's is best. You don't use as much of this as you do with the salt, but use a fair bit. Again, just rub it in. Switch sides. Pepper, garlic powder. This one's a little overkill because we're showing off for the camera. Go to the butcher, ask for a nice bone-in ribeye that's 1.5 inches thick. It's the best cut of meat there is. So now we need to get the grills going. And with the Big Green Egg, it's not actually that simple a process. First step with that is to clean out everything inside. All the old ash, any old dirt that was in there from your last cook needs to come out, because we're gonna be forcing air through this thing. If we leave any dirt in here at all, it's just gonna get all over us, all over our steak, and all over our house. In the Big Green Egg, you run natural lump charcoal only. This is actually made from wood and not just a bunch of harmful chemicals. It burns hotter and cleaner, and it changes temperature faster. It's actually really easy to cook with. Just go on and fill up your grill. Now we've got to light that charcoal. I have misplaced my chimney, just in time for filming. So I'm gonna take my favorite fire starter, which is cotton balls, obviously, light them and shove them down in the charcoal. One of the tricks with starting a Big Green Egg is not to use any chemicals in the process at all. It just alters the flavor of your food. Our bottom vent is open, top's open. We're just gonna walk away for 15 or 20 minutes while this fire gets going. Starting the Traeger is a little different. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this button. There you go. Fire is just fuel, heat, and oxygen. And by forcing oxygen into the fire, we can turbocharge it. And for that, I use a hairdryer. I don't know if this is something I should recommend. It certainly isn't endorsed by Big Green Egg. This is how you get this thing dangerous. This is how you lose your eyebrows. Be careful. What we're gonna do is just get that fire just as rip-roaring hot as we possibly can. You'll see that temperature gauge just swing around. And you want to wait until you're like way up in the crazy temps. Now we're cooking with fire. Time for the steak to go on. 30 seconds aside. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 9, 1,000, 30, 1,000. Okay, let's just check that's black. It is. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 30, 1,000. Okay. Then we're gonna pull that steak off. And we're gonna rest it for 20 minutes. Cooking on this thing is not a science, it is an art. And like all good art, it is extremely dangerous. I've lost eyebrows on this thing. I always lose arm hair. My hands are scarred, but it sears a steak hotter than any other grill. And that heat, that extreme heat, that 1,600 degree heat is the trick to get a nice, crispy, thin sear on a steak. All right, we've put a perfect sear on the steak, and we've rested it for 20 minutes so that muscle can decompress. But the steak now is essentially raw inside, and we can't eat it. What we need to do now is cook it through at a very low temperature. I use 225 degrees, consistently until it's up to about 130 degrees internal. So the Traeger gives you a temperature probe. Get that in the thickest part of the meat, set the alert for 130. Perfect medium rare steak every time. So where the Big Green Egg burns natural lump charcoal, the Traeger burns wood pellets. These are driven into the burn mechanism by an auger. And the advantage here is that you get total digital control of your temperature while actually still burning natural wood. And that gives you awesome flavor. I use mesquite exclusively on my steaks. It gives you like just a really nice taste. All right, looks like we're good. Just gonna pull this steak off, take this inside, we're gonna cut it up, and it's gonna be awesome. Let's see. It feels good. Perfect steak. Even temperature throughout. 1 millimeter of crispy sear on the outside. You cannot get better in a restaurant. This thing cost me 30 bucks. Let's put it to the ultimate test. Bowie, do you approve? It's a steak. To me, the hallmark of a good steak isn't necessarily just how moist and tender the meat is. It's whether or not the fat is edible and tasty and something delicious that you want to eat, and it just melts in your mouth. And yeah, we achieved that. I know the equipment costs a little money. You know, it's $30 a beef right here, but this is a better steak here in my kitchen right now than you would ever get in a restaurant anywhere in the world.